Alright, Bungie, I just have one question for you. What the fuck did Carl do to deserve this? Oh my god, that damage is chunky. Hello everybody, my name is Subclass, and welcome back to the mess that is my channel. And in today's video, we're going over the Celestial Nighthawk, because it just got a buff this season in terms of damage and getting this super back, and honestly makes it very, very fun to use. And this build I'm about to show you makes it a lot of fun to even have. So, without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, so first off, let's talk about the exotic that we are using, and that is going to be the Celestial Nighthawk. So, the Celestial Nighthawk, what it originally did was when it makes your golden gun a one-shot super, and when you defeat a target with it, it'll give you super energy. I believe it was 20%. Don't quote me on that. That's just what I've heard. And now, with what it does now, well, what it has been added onto it, is that precision final blows will reduce the cooldown of your super. I believe it's like minors is 2.5, and anything above a minor is 5%. I think that goes for everything. So, out of the way, let's talk about the mods of choice. So, for mods, this is where there's a lot of flexibility in what you can do, but this is what I like. So, I have usually I don't have a harmonic siphon here. I have 2 dynamos and a hands-on mod here, just so that I can get as much super as possible in the quickest amount of time. Now, I have a harmonic siphon on here because I'm going for the fullest amount of damage, the most damage I can do out of this. And as I go further down, you'll understand why. So, on our gauntlets, we have a focusing strike, a heavy-handed, and an impact reduction. And that'll be explained once we get to the seasonal mods. So, we have 2 charged up mods here, so that we can keep our stacks, have more stacks for what we have on our boots. Which is, we have 2 kinetic weapon surges. Now, why we have 2 kinetic weapon surges is because it works with your golden gun. I don't know if Bungie will ever fix this, and I hope they don't, because that would suck. But they do, and it's a 17% increase. Now, you can't do 3 because that'll break it and it won't work, but 2 will work. So for that, I added a little bit of survivability, and I put on a recuperation. For the chest piece, you have a bomber, so you can continue to have a little bit of uptime on your grenade, and then time dilation, so I can increase my duration armor charges, or the decaying armor charges, which in this case would be the 2 kinetic weapon surges, and then a reaper, so I can get an orb after I dodge when I get a kill. When I get a kill after I dodge. That's the right way to say it. Now, for the subclass of what we're using, first off, we're using the Marksman Golden Gun, because it benefits being radiant. It creates orbs of power on precision hits, and it allows it to do precision damage. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about our knife, and that is the weighted throwing knife. Now, the extra precision damage is nice, but what's most important here is that it will cause scorched targets to ignite. That'll be very important later down in the line, but also, when you get a precision final blow with this weapon, it'll give you your class ability back, so it's really nice to get 2 abilities back with 1 throwing knife kill. Very, very satisfying. And then we have our healing grenade here, just so that we have a little bit of survivability. To the aspects, we have knock 'em down, so our golden gun has increased duration, and while radiant, when I get a throwing knife kill, I will refund my melee energy. So once again, when I get a kill, or precision kill, or even a kill in general, a basic kill, I get my knife back. A precision kill, I get both my knife and my dodge back. So it works out very well for that. And then I have on your mark, just so that I have a little bit of reload speed in case I need to reload a weapon quicker. You know the deal for that. But if you want, you can also put on gunpowder gamble, so that way you have a way to have a grenade and a healing grenade. It just works out pretty easily that way. Now, for fragments, the most important one that you will need to have on is Ember of Singeing. What this does is, when I scorch a target, my class ability recharges faster. This is the most important one because this basically circles back to everything that you can do and gets back most of your abilities with this dodge. So, next up we have Ember of Empyrean, so that way when we have Restoration and Radiant, we can increase the duration of it. And then Ember of Searing, so for one, we can carry a Fire Sprite and get some melee energy when we scorch a target. For Ember of Torches, this is just to make us Radiant, and with all the mods we have this season, it works out very well, as you will see soon. And then Ember of Eruption, so our solar ignitions have an increased area of effect. Now this can change depending on if you're running it solo or with a fire team. For solo, I would recommend Eruption all the way. However, I would recommend Ember of Benevolence or Ember of Tempering. Tempering is that way you can create a fire sprite from just getting solar weapon kills and have increased recovery, because if you couldn't tell already, I don't have a lot of recovery. Or you can go with Ember of Benevolence, so you can get your grenade and your dodge back even faster. So it works out very, very well for that. But those are what I recommend for this slot, just in case you don't want to put on Ember of Eruption. Now, for our seasonal mods, that's where things get interesting. So, you have Kindling Trigger, so when you are Radiant, my solar weapons will apply Scorch to unscorched targets, therefore proccing Ember of Singeing, and causing my knife, if the target is alive, to do an ignition, which is very nice for that. Flint Striker, so when I get rapid solar precision hits and rapid solar weapon kills, I give myself Radiant. And then we have Revitalizing Blast, so my abilities weaken champions or bosses. And then Solar Operative, so we can do all the damage. I believe this is 15% for Solo Operative, but you have to be running solo. If you're not running Solo Operative, then I would recommend Raise of Precision and maybe Argent Ordnance, just so that you have a way to increase some kind of damage with your rocket, because Dragon's Breath is very, very good with this build as well. Oh, for the other seasonal mods, you know, it's really up to you there. You have Wish into Being, so I can create a crap ton of orbs, and then from whence you came, because I was doing the dungeon, and this comes in handy very, very much. Alrighty, so for the combo that you need, first want to get Radiant with that, and then once you have Radiant, you can, as you see, scorch a target, and then once again with your knife, once again with your knife, you throw it and it'll cause an ignition. That is only with the knife that you can do it with. And now, obviously we don't have our dodge, but now if we scorch targets, we are able to get our knife back, and then we repeat this process, and then when you don't have your dodge, if you get a precision kill, I missed. Damn it. Alright, when you get a precision kill, you get both your dodge and your melee back. So it's very helpful there. So once again, throw your melee, dodge, scorch the target, and then throw your melee again, and able to cause the ignition. So what are some other options that we can use that after the season ends can still work with this build? So there are a lot of different options here. First off, just having an incandescent weapon would work just fine, right? Because you get a kill, then you scorch the target, then you can throw it and still cause that loop. However, if you don't want to do that, there are a couple of exotics that we can use. First off, in our exotic slot, we have the Jotun, but this only works with, it only has a incandescent, which is the only 3.0 synergy that we have for this. Now, we have Skyburner's Oath, where whenever we get a hit with Skyburner's Oath, we cause them to scorch. And I believe that's firing from the hip. Yeah, firing from the hip. Another one we could use that works pretty well is actually the Tommy's Matchbook. Let me find it here. Because why Tommy's Matchbook is so good is because sustained fire with this weapon overheats it, causing the burner uses the burn. But its perk here, oh, well, it doesn't say on here, but when you overheat the weapon, you cause the enemies to scorch. Basically, you make the enemies scorch. So if you want to do that, throw your knife, you would get it. but you are at the mercy of this gun and if you have restoration or not. So that's also another option. The third and final option, that's once again kind of like the whole situation with Zoe's Bane and the Incandescent, is Sunshot. Because Sunshot, when you get a kill and you get that explosion, it'll scorch nearby targets that survives. But your most reliable option is unfortunately the Skyburner's Oath for solar burns. And once again, this is after the season is over. This is when these seasonal mods have passed. For now, you just need to have a legendary weapon and just use these seasonal mods and it'll be all good. So my final thoughts about the build is, honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's definitely something I can use if I don't want to use my strand build or something. So I've honestly had a lot of fun with this and even making it. It's definitely a high risk, high reward type of build, but when you do it right, it is so much fun and it's so satisfying. But that's it for me. The rest of the gameplay is going to be some Legend Lost Sector gameplay. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. There's no escaping the knife. Oh. There's blocking it though. Pop. Chunky damage. Gotcha, back up. Back the fuck up. Back to. Oh, shit. No, imagine if he was debuffed, dude. Get down, Mr. Precious Centurion! Oh. I'm the form super. Yes, sir. I swear you have an infinite loop.